We've got what we call an engagement bus, and the engagement bus is here to reach out into the local communities, to speak to local people and key groups that we need to reach as part of this NHS Stay Well campaign. We're also doing a range of other activities and events, such as going to sheltered accommodation and care homes. We're also doing a lot of stuff on social media. So you would have seen our pledge balls. We're getting people to hold those, have their photograph taken with those and post them on Facebook, Twitter. We're doing that both with GPs, local people in the street and some key senior managers within the NHS.
What kind of advice is on offer here?
The advice today is around how to stay well this winter, and we're focusing on 4 key groups. Those key groups are people aged between 0 and 4, and obviously particularly their parents, people with long-term conditions and the elderly, those aged over 65. They're the most vulnerable groups, particularly at this time of year. So the advice for them, for those groups, is the usual things such as making sure you're fit, making sure you're doing lots of exercise, that you're eating well, also making sure you're drinking plenty of fluids and staying hydrated. But also, particular to those people with long-term conditions, have you got your medicine cabinet up to date? Have you got all your repeat prescriptions in place, particularly with winter and then after winter when the real cold weather sets in? To make sure that they're in the best possible place, to make sure they are able to stay as well as possible over this winter period.
And what are the biggest health concerns at this time of the year?
The biggest health concerns, I suppose one of the key ones is flu, so making sure you have that flu jab. Obviously most people have had it done by now, but if you haven't, you should be going and getting that flu jab done.
How can people get health advice?
The best way to get health advice this winter is to either go to your pharmacist, because they can give you immediate, quick advice on a whole raft of different symptoms, a whole raft of different issues. They know far more than just giving over some paracetamol or giving you your repeat prescription. The other way is to go to the NHS 111 service. It's a really fantastic service and it is staffed by trained professionals. They'll take you through a series of questions which will help them to evaluate what your symptoms are and what your condition is, and then to direct you to the right place to go. That might be sending out an ambulance, and they can do that if it's required. But in most cases it will probably be saying go to a pharmacist, get an appointment with your GP, or perhaps attend a walk-in centre within the West Midlands region. So they're the 2 things I would strongly advise people to do. Go to your pharmacist or telephone NHS 111.